Yo. I know I'm looking a little bit scruffy and shit. I'm just getting out the gym for the second time. So my beard in disarray. Anyway, I got a message on Instagram. I speak to my my Instagram followers, some of y'all. I communicate with y'all. And I got a message from a guy. I can't even recall where he was from, but he wanted to know, of all the places that I traveled to and did interviews, which one was the most dangerous. Now, I never really placed myself in any dangerous situations, but a couple of cities, you know, you heard the story, so you just got to be aware. Philly, I never put myself in any dangerous situations. I don't even fuck around down there. When I go down Philly, I go downtown and stay there. You know what I'm saying? But I've been to most of the major cities, especially the ones that got the reputations, pretty much all of them. But one city stands out, and I thought about this video yesterday before I got on here. I wanted to make sure I had my recollection together before I got on here, but one city was just different. It was, I'm speaking about Detroit. In terms of, you know, the wild reputation, as far as the gangsters go and all that shit, Detroit and DC, Philly, you know, they all got their own reputations and shit, but those other cities, DC and even Philly, they have experienced some levels of gentrification in certain parts. Detroit, I didn't see that. And what I'm trying to say is Detroit was a different experience. My first time going to Detroit, I'm gonna speak about the Detroit hustler and everything. My first time going to Detroit to work was probably like, I don't know, 15 years ago, 12, 15 years ago, something like that. And I was at Savior's Day down there. Of course, y'all know I grew up in the Nation of Islam, so I was in Detroit for the weekend, and I wanted to get some work done after, you know, the Savior's Day convention. So I stayed down there another day or two and got to work. Somehow, I don't know, the topic of Detroit, I believe, came up between me and Head Ice. And Head Ice told me that he has some contacts out there, so he put me with a guy named Marquise Porter. And Marquise could have been the first Detroit guy interviewed. I don't know, it's between him and Obi Trice, but it was a guy named Marquise Porter. Keith, what's up? And I can't remember what side of town Marquise is from or what side of town we were at, but I do remember this. Ghetto. Detroit almost looked like that documentary, that Rolling documentary from Al Prophet. It still kind of looked like that in certain parts. Like I said, I don't know what side of town I was on. Probably the east side. Conventionally in cities, I'm from the east side. The east side be a little bit rawer than the west side in a lot of situations, but I could have been on the east side. Anyway, so I drove over there with somebody.
Hey!
What's up? How you doing? All right.
You don't know who you talking to?
I do know who I'm talking to.
Okay, well, give me some love.
How you doing?
Nigga, what's wrong with you?
Ain't nothing wrong with me.
Nigga, is you the right? Is you the right cousin?
How you doing?
All right, cousin.
All right. Normally I would just stop my video, but she wanted some love. Anyway, boom. Yeah, where was I? All right, Detroit. Detroit. I don't know whether I was on the east side or the west side, right? I don't know. And I remember traveling over there by way of GPS. And when I got to where we was going to film, I'm saying to myself, there's no way this nigga live over here. There's no way nobody lives over here. This is unbelievable. And what I mean by that is, whatever side of town we was, they had these burnt out houses. Like, I'm talking about blocks and blocks of houses that was burnt up. Like somebody went on an arson spree. And normally, when a house catches fire, not long after it, the city will come and probably, like, you know, knock it down and, you know, clean it up or whatever. Detroit has, I don't know if it's still like this. Detroit had all of these fucking burnt down houses. I'm talking about house after house after house, neighborhoods of burnt down houses, and they weren't even knocked down. So they was like, they weren't boarded up or nothing. So they was like the shell of a burnt house. You know what I'm saying? And you could still kind of like smell them. I don't know whether it was, these were freshly burnt houses, but it was so many burnt houses that you could smell the shit. Like, seriously. So, this is crazy, man. Thinking about this shit, this is, you would have to see what the fuck I'm talking about to understand how shocking this shit was and how it looked. Now, in between these burnt up ass houses, it might be a regular looking house where somebody is possibly still living. And I went to meet Marquise at one of these houses. And I told this story before. Whenever the house I went to meet Marquise at, it was the DVD man house. The DVDs were still popping. It was the DVD and the mixtape, burnt CDs house, dude house. This nigga had CD towers as tall as me all over this fucking house. I'm talking about, it wasn't even livable, and it wasn't nasty, but it just wasn't livable because it wasn't no place to sit. Like, it was, he used every inch of this fucking house for these DVD burners and CD burners and shit. And this motherfucking house was slapping like a motherfucker. I'm talking about motherfuckers hitting this door every 5 seconds, man. Like, this nigga was making kingpin drug money out of this house, man. Selling all these CDs and DVDs. I'm talking about, this nigga was balling out of control. But anyway, these fucking houses all over the place, they burnt the fuck up. And I asked Marquise, I'm like, yo, man, what the fuck is up with all these houses burnt up like this? Like, what the fuck is this about? I knew it was something to it. And he was like, when niggas go to war down here, they burn your house up. They go to your house. Yeah, they go to your house and firebomb the house or set the motherfucker on fire and then wait out there for you to run out the house. And then they gun you down and shit. So I'm like, you mean to tell me this went on with all of these goddamn houses? And he started laughing. He was like, yeah, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? This is a battlefield. It looked like some shit that you would see in maybe like Vietnam or some shit. Like, I'm serious. I'm dead serious. I'm talking about, I'm dead serious. This shit was crazy as a motherfucker. And you couldn't help but the Too Short song started playing in my head. The ghetto, talking about the ghetto. I'm talking about, this Detroit looks ghetto as fuck. It's ghetto as fuck. I'm talking about, this shit is unbelievable. Like, maybe like the president or the National Guard should intervene or some shit. Again, I don't know if it's still like this, but you guys from Detroit, y'all know the neighborhoods that I'm talking about with all them burnt down ass houses and shit. And there's some shit that I never seen before, for real. And, you know, when I say dangerous, you just felt, not until I got into this neighborhood, I guess, you just felt a level of danger. You just felt it. You felt it, you felt it, you felt it. You just felt it. I'm serious. And I had just seen that DVD that called Rolling and shit. Detroit had this thing with the AK-47 at the time. I know every city got their little thing that they do, but Detroit had a very serious, I don't know, fascination, or it was something with the AK. The chopper was a big thing out there. And you just felt that at any point somebody would come through and chop some shit up. I'm dead serious. You just felt it. Like, At any point, it could go up. And they had alleys. They had a bunch of fucking alleys and shit. And I seen something in Detroit that I had never seen before. They had like stores in the alleys and shit. Like, you walking through an alley, you might walk by what appears to be like a garage, and it's a whole fucking store operating. Like, people running in and out this motherfucker buying blunts and, you know, soda, you know, a store. It was in the fucking alley. I'm dead serious. It was in the alley. This shit was crazy. But that was my first experience there. So boom, after Marquise, you know, once you meet somebody, they'll plug you into somebody else and so on and so forth. I started to go back more, right? Now let me tell you about the Detroit hustler. Out of all of the cities that I've visited, all of the hustlers I've interacted with, DC, New York, Philly, Houston, Oakland, LA, Chicago, the Detroit niggas is in a class by themselves. I'm not lying. I'm not exaggerating or nothing. Them niggas is in a class by themselves. I'm serious. And I got two experiences to support what I'm saying to y'all, right? One time I went down there to interview some niggas. They was popping at the time. I don't think they're around all like that anymore. They was called the Band Gang. Shout out to Mazo and Moan, Shred Gang Moan. I went to that studio. It used to be a studio in Detroit where all of them Detroit rappers recorded at. I think it was called like Oak Park, Michigan or some shit like that. It was Oak something, I think. But there was a studio out there. And Detroit was the first niggas that I seen. I'm not bullshit. I got a hustler background, hustler pedigree to the max. They're the first guys that I seen who, you know, when you go to a recording studio and shit, it's always, you know, the niggas that rap is there, the musicians and shit, the engineers and shit. And then there might be a few niggas that's just hanging out. In Detroit, like, you couldn't tell who was the man. You couldn't. And like any other city or studio I've been to, any other city or that I've been to, you could tell who the nigga in the room was who had the power or had money and shit like that. With Detroit, you really couldn't tell. I'm dead serious. Like, every last one of them niggas, icy as fuck. I'm talking about on a Monday. You know what I'm saying? Like, just for nothing, man. Like, on a regular day, everybody icy, fresh, designer clothing on. Every nigga got on a different, you know, designer brand. I'm talking about rocking that shit like they going to a concert and they just chilling in the studio and shit. I'm talking about everybody in the motherfucker. Engineer, the nigga at the door. I'm talking about everybody. You couldn't tell who was the nigga who had all the money and power. Like, it just looked it to be spread out. Like, they all was on it like a motherfucker. And that's what I seen when I was around the Band Gang. And there was some young niggas and shit. I was probably older than everybody there. These are some young niggas, man. Like, everybody got on good ice. Rollies and Cartiers, the Cartier frames, they take that shit to the max. That's why they claim it. When they say that they the first that was rocking Cartiers. What's up, pimp? How you doing? All right. I don't believe getting love from the shorties at the basketball court. I don't think they was the first ones to. I don't think they was the first ones to start rocking Cartiers. I think everybody started rocking them at the same time. I remember them becoming a big thing when the Firm came out. That was, I think, 97 or some shit like that. Now, if they want to say we was wearing them before that, y'all got that. But everybody, every city, niggas that was getting money was fucking with the Cartiers, the wood frame joints, the originals. The Detroit niggas, they take that shit to another level. That Cartier shit, I'm talking about, you'll go, I was in the studio and everybody got on a different pair, a different style. Like, you hear a lot of niggas saying buffs now and shit like that. It's so many different types. Like, I seen some shit with the arm on them was like ivory, like elephant tusk or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas got ice all in them and shit. Like, I'm talking about real ice, good ice. Like Bootsy Collins from back in the day, how he had them joints, them frames with the star and shit. I'm talking about icy as fuck. And something that I did not detect nothing fugazi about it. Meaning, other cities, especially New York, if it's a bunch of niggas with ice on, some of that shit is fake. Somebody's shit probably some bullshit. I didn't get that from the Detroit niggas. I didn't even get that inclination at all. Like, I got the impression that the shit that I was amongst some real live hustlers. And when I say hustlers, Detroit take that hustling shit the way that New York City take the rap game. You know how, like, it's a lot of rappers per capita in New York? Detroit is on some hustling shit. Like, I'm talking about all of them. And as I've gotten older and met more of them and shit, them niggas is in every crevice of the United States damn near. I'm talking about, you won't believe how serious they take this hustling shit and going out of town, getting money and shit like that. You won't believe it. Like, they go above and beyond. I'm talking about serious. I'm talking about it's religious. And I know every city got their body of hustlers that go OT to get money and shit. But the Detroit dudes, they take that Detroit shit with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I had a homie that was getting down in West Virginia, and he told me that the Detroit niggas was down there. And my man, he was from Philly. He was like, man, them niggas be drawing. I said, what you mean? He was like, man, we down there trying to stay low. We down there in Walmart sweatsuits and wearing the same clothes, just trying to get it done and shit. He said, them niggas is down there in Hellcats. They on the main little street. You know what I'm saying? Revving it up. You know what I'm saying? He like, they down there. He like, they got baby mamas down there. They flossing, like, you see them. It's a town and shit. Like, I don't know if it was Morgantown or someplace else, but he was like, man, it's very easy to stand out because you black, number one. But them niggas is down there with fucking diamond chains on, them Cartiers. I'm talking about, they designer down. They got their bitches down there. They designer down. He said, man, it's just, them niggas they way out there with it. And when you see somebody like Big Meech and that whole BMF thing, and how he went to other places and just kept it going, kept on his bullshit. That's like culture to them. That shit is culture to them. I don't know if they wanted to be anything else. I don't know. Jalen Rose is from Detroit. Tractor Trailer is from Detroit. I'm sure there's more basketball. I think Vashawn Leonard. I know there's more. It's more. Howard Isley. I believe they all played on the same team in high school. But I don't know, and I don't think that them niggas had much influence on the youth. You know what I'm saying? Them little niggas that's growing up in Detroit, them niggas want to be a dope boy. For real. Them niggas want to be a dope boy. I'm dead. I'm serious as a motherfucker, man. And another encounter I had with them, close encounter I had with them, is I went to cover Icewear Vezo's music video shoot. It's called D-Rack. If you go check out Icewear Vezo's music video, D-Rack, you'll see me in there. I'm in that joint. I made a cameo in that joint. I'm out there. I got my cameras and shit. And this is crazy, man. Like, the level of cars, this not niggas pulling up and rented shit. Like, these cars belong to these niggas, man. Any type of wild car that I'm talking about above and fucking beyond. Any type of wild car that you're talking about that's out at the time. Them Ford Giotto rims and shit. And this was a long time ago. Like, you hear a lot of people talking about that Ford Giotto shit. Them Detroit niggas on that shit a long time ago. That video with Vez was a long time ago. Like, Vezo is popping now, and you know, everybody know him. The East Coast know him and shit like that, and you know, he made it. But back then, I think only big song he had at the time was Money Phone, and he was still, you know, kind of like a Midwest guy that was on the rise and shit. I don't even think he had a deal at the time, but I covered that video shoot, and again, everybody there, everybody flossing to maximum fucking capacity. I'm talking about flossing. Y'all not getting it. I know y'all not. You know what I'm saying? You would have to have seen this shit. Everybody there flossing like a motherfucker. I'm talking about big ice, big knots. Everybody smoking out the pound. Like, you know, it's not odd to see a nigga pull out an onion and shit and start rolling up. Them niggas literally got elbows. Same when I was around Monzo and them and shit. I'm talking about, like, everybody there got an elbow. Everybody there got an elbow, man, or a half elbow or some shit, man. Like, big ass bags of weed, man. Just roll it up, man. Like, it was almost like they, I don't know whether they was just coming off the road or about to go back on and shit, but it was I'm like, man, these niggas is, whoo. So at Vezo's party, Big Meech calls on the phone. And I got that video on my channel. You could check it out. Big Meech calls on the phone, and, you know, he put him on loudspeaker, so he's talking to a room full of hustlers. It was like Jesus was on the phone. I'm serious. It was like Jesus was on the phone, man. Like, you could just feel this. It was like, I solemnly swear in the room. Like, the energy in the room just like changed when he got on the, it was loud and everything. That nigga said, okay, yeah, meet you on the phone. Everybody got quiet, almost like a church. And, you know, Vaz let him talk and shit. And then he got off and he did his little speech. And I'm looking at him and the level that he flossing at the time. And he was saying, man, this nigga's in here with way more money than me. And so when he said that, I'm looking around the room trying to detect who he's talking about, who he's referring to. But you can't fucking detect it. You can't detect who he's talking about because, like I said, this is the first place that I went and I was amongst hustlers. You could not tell who was the man. You could not tell who was the man unless somebody said, yo, it's him or them two right there. You could not tell. Because everybody in the entire room. What's up, pimp? Everybody in the entire room.
I know you on the phone, sir, but you got any more of them God dribble shirts?
Yeah, I got you. Next time I see you, I got you.
No.
All right. Said he want to dribble God's shirt. I'm just strolling through the set, man, coming from the gym. Y'all see the status I hold. But anyway, the Detroit guys, of all the places I've been, they hustlers, the breed of hustler that they pushing up out of there, they in the class by themselves. And them niggas is everywhere. I'm not dry snitching. I'm not nothing. This is well known. Them niggas is in every nook and every cranny of the U.S. getting some money. I just seen a documentary the other day, and it was about 42 Doug and those dudes, and they be talking about stuffers. They be rapping about stuffers. I ain't gonna tell y'all what a stuffer is. Y'all have to go look into their music and their culture and find out what a stuffer is. But that's something that's big with them. Going OT with a stuffer. Anyway, yeah. So getting back to, you know, the danger element. Between all of the stories that I heard about Detroit and the way that this shit looks, you just feel like a catastrophe is gonna happen. Now, as I started to go down there more, I don't know, maybe I adapt to it, but that first time that I seen that shit, I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, what the fuck is this? I never seen that nowhere. And what I'm describing to y'all is neglect. from the city of Detroit. Them houses that got burnt down, nobody came and knocked them joints down, or nobody came and boarded the shit up. It's almost like, I don't know who owned them. I don't know. That was just a very, very different experience. If you're from the D and you know what side of town I was on, drop it in the comments. Anyway, y'all like, share, subscribe. That's my, I just wanted to put that on here, man. People be asking me about, you know, my travels and different encounters I had. Them Detroit niggas is hustlers to the core. You know what I mean? I don't even think they do nothing else. I know it be hoopers coming out of there sometime, but man, per capita, I don't think no other city got as many hustlers, you know what I'm saying, as Detroit. And them niggas love to gamble. I done been locked up with them niggas, man. Them niggas continue they bullshit in jail. Niggas love to shoot dice. Niggas love to play cards. Like, all forms of gambling and vice. The Detroit niggas is with it, you know what I'm saying? And I believe even somebody that might not have really grew up in the streets in Detroit, they probably with it too. That's just the climate of the city and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's just the climate of the city, for real. And that's my recollection of the Motor City. Peace.